You won't believe this one. Imagine living in peace on your own land, only for a power-hungry HOA Karen to storm in, call the cops, and try to boss you around, without realizing you actually own every single acre of the valley she's standing on. Yeah, this really happened. So grab some popcorn, because this story is going to take you through arrogance, entitlement, and the most satisfying twist you'll ever hear. I've always been a bit of a loner. Not in a bad way, just someone who enjoys peace, quiet, and the sound of birds more than honking horns and loud neighbors. After years of saving, I finally bought a huge stretch of valley land out in the countryside. We're talking acres upon acres of rolling hills, a little river, and enough forest to lose yourself in. The best part? The land had been in my family for generations, but recently I managed to officially buy out the neighboring tracts too. That meant the valley was all mine. No landlords, no HOA, no city rules. Just me, my cabin, and the freedom to live the way I wanted. So I built myself a small log cabin right in the heart of it. Nothing fancy, just cozy woodwork, a stone fireplace, and a porch that overlooked the entire valley. Life was perfect. Or at least it was, until Karen arrived. Now, let me tell you about Karen. About a mile from the edge of my land, a new luxury neighborhood had popped up. You know the type, cookie-cutter houses with 2-car garages, white fences, and an HOA board that thinks they're the rulers of the universe. And at the head of this little suburban kingdom? Yep, Karen. She wasn't even the HOA president officially. She was just the loudest, nosiest, most self-important resident there. She believed every road, every tree, and every blade of grass within 10 miles should be under her control. So, one Saturday morning, I'm out chopping wood when I see a shiny SUV creeping up my gravel driveway. Out steps Karen, sunglasses, clipboard, and the "I'm here to ruin your day" attitude. She marches right up like she owns the place. Karen, "Excuse me, sir. This cabin is not HOA approved." Me, "Excuse me. Karen, you can't just build random shacks out here. This entire area falls under the Oak Hills HOA. We have building codes, lawn requirements, paint color approvals. Honestly, I don't know how you even got this far without being stopped." I had to bite back a laugh. This woman really thought my privately owned valley was under her suburban rule. Me, "Ma'am, this isn't part of your HOA. This is my land. Every single acre you're standing on is mine." She scoffs, like I just told her the sky was green. Karen, "That's impossible. All land in this area is part of the association. If you don't comply, we'll fine you." At this point, I just turned and walked back to my porch. I wasn't going to waste breath explaining property law to someone whose power came from gossiping over garden fences. But Karen wasn't done. Oh no, she was only just getting started. Over the next few weeks, I caught Karen snooping around my property more than once. She'd drive up, take pictures of my cabin, and even walk up near the tree line with her phone out like some kind of private investigator. Then came the letters. One morning, I found a note pinned to my cabin door. It was written on official-looking HOA letterhead. Notice: you are in violation of the Oak Hills HOA bylaws. Immediate compliance required. Failure to repaint your structure, install an HOA-approved fence, and remove non-standard landscaping will result in daily fines. Daily fines? On my own valley? Yeah, right. I tossed it straight into the fireplace. But Karen wasn't letting it go. She needed control, and when people like her can't control you, they escalate. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was grilling on my porch, minding my own business, when I heard sirens in the distance. A county sheriff's cruiser rolled up my driveway. Out stepped 2 deputies. Behind them, parked smugly in her SUV, was Karen, grinning like she had just won the lottery. "Sheriff, sir, we got a call about an illegal structure on HOA property. Can you explain what's going on here?" Karen butts in before I can even answer. Karen, "Officers, this man has built a shack without approval. It's a code violation, and he's trespassing on association land. He needs to be removed immediately." I almost choked on my laughter. But I kept calm and pulled out the thick folder I always keep handy, my property deeds. Me, officers, here's the title deed, the survey maps, and the county registry. As you can see, this cabin, the surrounding valley, the hills, and even that little creek running through. All mine. This has nothing to do with the Oak Hills HOA. The deputies flipped through the paperwork, nodding. One of them even radioed back to confirm. Meanwhile, Karen was sputtering like a car running out of gas. Karen. No, this can't be right. Everyone around here is under the HOA. Everyone. He's lying. The deputy finally turned to her and said, Sheriff, ma'am, this property is privately owned and not under your HOA jurisdiction. You have no authority here. In fact, you're trespassing. Karen's jaw dropped. Karen stormed off that day red-faced and humiliated, but I wasn't done. Because here's the kicker. I didn't just own the land my cabin sat on. Remember when I said I had bought out all the neighboring tracts? That included the only road leading into Oak Hills. Yep, the road their entire HOA used to access their neighborhood was mine. 4 years, I let everyone use it because I didn't mind. But after Karen's stunt, let's just say I decided to put that ownership to good use. The next week, I installed a big, shiny sign at the road entrance. Private road. Access permitted with owner's consent only. Then I sent a friendly notice to the actual HOA president, letting him know the situation. I explained that as long as residents respected my property and stayed in their lane, I had no problem keeping the road open. But I made one special exception. Karen's name was not on the access list. That meant every time she tried to drive home, security I hired at the gate had strict orders, turn her around. She had to petition her own HOA for weeks, begging them to negotiate with me. Eventually, she was forced to apologize in writing and agree never to step foot on my land again. Only then did I lift her ban. Word spread fast around Oak Hills. Suddenly, Karen wasn't the self-appointed queen anymore. People whispered about how she'd embarrassed the entire HOA, how she got schooled by the very landowner she tried to boss around. And me. I went back to enjoying my quiet life in the valley. But every time I sit on my porch and look down at that road, I can't help but chuckle. Because Karen learned the hard way, you can't bully someone who literally owns the ground you walk on. Stories like this remind me of something important. Entitlement can make people blind. Karen was so convinced she had authority that she never once stopped to check the facts. She thought rules and threats could bend reality to her will, but reality had other plans. In the end, I didn't need to yell, argue, or lose my cool. All it took was a little patience, some legal paperwork, and the truth. And the truth is always more powerful than a wannabe HOA tyrant. So the next time someone tries to boss you around where they have no business doing so, just remember, you might hold more power than you think. And if you're lucky, maybe you'll get to watch a Karen's face crumble when she realizes she's been barking up the wrong tree all along.